What deep pan? Penge. Hope you're doing good. RWS 201 finished yesterday. I thought beforehand that my predictions were shaky, but it turned out better than I thought. So let's get into it. The first fight, Chehovsky versus Solomon. This one I got wrong. I thought that Solomon, while he's not a very technical fighter, I thought he would have an advantage in activity. He's fought a lot more than Chehovsky, and I thought that Solomon would be able to kind of make it into a brawl. And from my tape study, Chehovsky doesn't like brawls. He is better off the back foot when he can control the tempo, and I didn't think Solomon would allow that, but he did. Solomon is not a bad fighter by any means, but I don't know if he's on RWS level or should be because he didn't set up anything. You know, he just walked in expecting to end up in a situation where he can elbow or clinch. Like a good fighter on that level, they will use hands to set up a situation in the clinch. They will go low to the legs and then go up. You use setups to get to another situation where you can capitalize. But he couldn't do that. He just walked, and very unimpressed by Solomon. Chehovsky on the back foot, technical. Still, I don't think he turns over his punches. I think he plays it safe a lot. And against a fighter that properly would make that fight into a brawl, he wouldn't have had any or as much success, I would say. So I was wrong on that one. I had Solomon unanimous decision, and it was the other way around. Chehovsky won. Fight number two, Scoop versus Azagar. This one I got correct in the winner. I thought Scoop would win. I had KO and he won through unanimous decision. But besides the how it ended, I kind of predicted how it would play out. As I got from what I could find on my tape study, he won first round KO on Raja KO, and then I watched a fight on in Cambodia in Kunkme where he gassed out in the first round after throwing haymakers, and then he lost the fight unanimous decision because he was gassed out after half a round and started out the same yesterday. He went all out in the first seconds, like touch glove and then low kick immediately, and then he just threw punches, punches, punches. And Scoop was in some issues there, it looked like, but Scoop is tough. He is gritty and he has big heart. So he withstood the the early attacks from Asagar, and after around 2 minutes in the first round, Asagar was done. He started looking tired, gassed out, and Scoop started taking over more and more. Asagar won the first round on all judges' scorecards, but the second round, dominant from Scoop, and the third round, even more dominant. Asagar in those 2 rounds walked down with his hands low, was on the back foot, even though he's not a back foot fighter, and he's young. I think he's 20, so he has time to learn. But you can't go all out in on this level. You can't go all out like that. I don't think he's fought great opponents. This was his first official loss in Muay Thai, even though in Cambodia I saw him lose. But I guess they keep it separate: Muay Thai and kickboxing and Kung Khmer and stuff like that. But not impressed. I knew that he would gas out like that, and that's exactly what he did. So Scoop, on the other hand, very impressive, picking his shots. I thought he would throw more elbows, which he didn't. He was more on the outside throwing kicks, and I understand that now thinking of it because Asagai's hands are dangerous. He's a good boxer, so I understand why Scoop wanted to be on the outside, throwing more long range attacks, kicks, knees, stuff like this. Um, so it's fully understandable. But yeah, I had Scoop winning, and he did. Fight number three, Piana versus Tugurov. This one I had Tugurov, even though I had no information on him whatsoever. I was a little bit lazy. I could have found more on Instagram and stuff, but I didn't. But I had a feeling that he would be one of those prospects. He's not from the Kuzbas region, as I said. I think he's from the Atlai region, if I'm not mistaken, again, in Russia. But usually when fighters come out of that region, they're tough, especially in kickboxing. They're tough, have heavy hands, and that's what he showed. I thought he would get a second round KO, but he got it in the first round. Piana is not a poor fighter like that. He can throw hands and he likes a brawl, but he just doesn't have the same power as Tugurov. He hit Tugurov with like a clean left hook at one point, and Tugurov almost he ate it like nothing. And then he started putting his hands on Piana and dropped it with a heavy right hand, slumped Piana, fell down on his face, fight over Tugurov, 14-0 now, I believe, in Muay Thai. So impressive performance, and I'm excited to see what more he can do in RWS. Moving on, fight number 4, the former minimum weight champion and K1 atomweight champion Paya Hong versus Ana Carolina Acchetti, Perita nickname. I had Paya Hong winning a unanimous decision, which is exactly what she did. I had a feeling she would stay on the outside, counter with teeps and kicks, roundhouses as a defensive move, stick and move in and out, blitz at times coming in with elbows. I believe I said in the prediction as well. And that's what she did. She controlled the fight, she controlled the tempo, and while Pedrita had some nice boxing and very strong in the clinch, Paya Hong was in control from the first bell to the last. Very impressive performance by her, and I think she's gonna start working herself back into the title contention in minimum weight. So yeah, very impressive performance by her. I think what I like the most is that she has such a good timing on the teeps. When not when she's moving forward, when she's moving backwards, and then Pedrita wanted to come in and put hands on her or get into the clinch, strong teep pushes her away, or even in some cases knocks her down a little. Not knocks her down, sends her to the mat. You know, very impressive performance by her, and yeah, I was never in any doubt that she would win this, that she wouldn't win this fight. So yeah, unanimous decision win for Paya Hong, just as expected, fought just as expected. Fight number 5, Jarungan versus Laniakel. I had Laniakel winning through unanimous decision, which is exactly what happened as well. This was the first rematch on the card, and in their last fight, their first fight in Pechindi, like a month ago, less than a month ago even, Pangtor, I got ahead of myself. Jarungan and Laniakeo went to a war, ended in a draw, which I do believe was a little bit weird. I think Laniakeo did enough to win that one when I watched it in arrears, the rerun. In that fight, Jarungan walked forward, throw some spinning attacks, very aggressive, mixing up attacks. But Laniakeo on his back foot is very skillful, very technical. He moves, he does not get too stationary. When he needs to, he clinches up, and especially the teeps and the defensive roundhouses are so good. He dropped Jarungan in the third round in that fight, I believe, the first one, uh, through a switch kick to the body. And I had a feeling he would do the fight would be similar, but 3 rounds in this, and I thought that that would benefit Lamia Kill, which it did. The first round, quite a dominant round from Lania Kill. I think he stays on the outside a lot. He does what he has to, kicks both switch leg and right leg, and you know really controlling where the fight goes, going up high, going low, making Jarungan have to question when to move forward because he got caught with that. And also he was strong in the clinch, first round, second round. First round, I think one judge scored it for Jarungan, which I don't understand. The other two for Laniakeo, and then the second round, all 3 judges for Laniakeo. He was very dominant in that one. And then in the third round, he just protected his lead. Jarungan had to go forward, had to go for a knockdown, knockout, hopefully, and he tried. He had some good solid punches there too. Laniakeo had to prove that he has a chin as well, but in the end, Laniakeo withstood. He controlled the clinch. He proved that he will be a name in RWS super flyweight, right? I'm kind of blanking on the or bantamweight, maybe it was. I don't remember what it was, to be honest with you. But either way, very solid fight from Laniakeo, and I think he's an interesting fighter. He do need to put some boxing together, I think, if he's gonna really challenge at the top. But in general, yesterday he won the fight fair and square, very dominant, and I'm very impressed by his technique on the back foot. Fight number six, the main bout of the card: Pangtor versus Salto for the interim bantamweight belt. Also a rematch from they fought in January 11th, I believe, this year, in a fight where Pangtor knocked Salto out in the third round, I believe, through elbow knee elbow combination, and I had a feeling that it would be similar in this one. I had Pangtor KO probably in the fourth round. I said later, and he made it earlier. He got it done in the second, I believe, and Pangtor looks so calm in there, man. He has this style where he looks unfazed. He looks so confident. Like you punch him, he smiles at you. You kick him, and he smiles at you. And Sato fought the first round very well, I believe. I think the first round he kind of stayed away from danger. He came in and he clipped him, fought well, but still Pangtor had bigger shots and bigger moments where it felt like, oh, something's coming. And in the second round, Pangtor started ripping to the body, dropped him one time, if I'm not mistaken, just going to the body. And then again, after he stood up a little bit later, going to the body again. I believe with a right hand that was the final straw, or maybe it was a right hand and a left. And Salto dropped, fight over. Pangtor KO win, which I predicted. And he's the new Pangtor is the new interim champion, interim bantamweight champion. And after the fight, he faced off with the reigning champion Jaron Suk, and that's a fight. That's a proper fight. You know what's funny? In the fight, Pangtor is so confident. Like he stands there and he's toughened up and smiles. And that's the thing with Thai fighters, the contrast between in the fight and then in the interview after and the face of where he's a little bit more shy, and timid, if you want to call it like that, and then a dog in the cage or in the ring. It's yeah, not all fighters are like that, but it's a funny contrast that I thought about yesterday. But very impressive performance by Pangtor. I think we're gonna see Southall come back. I don't think there's a rematch at stake now, but he's gonna come back, and yeah, very impressive performance by Pangtor, who is he's called the Butcher for a reason. He goes there and he slices people, and he you know very dominant, very calm in the ring. Can't wait for that Jaron Suk fight. And then moving on to the last fight of the card, fight number 7, Keopayak versus Jiang. I had Keopayak winning through unanimous decision. I thought that he would control the range, control the exchanges, win the exchanges, and just not cruise, but definitely get a convincing unanimous decision win over Jiang, who is a good boxer, but not really. He doesn't win the exchanges, and he has some issues with defense as well, checking kicks, and But Keopayak did it more impressively than I thought. He got in there, and in these, I think it was the second round as well, right, where he started going to the body with knees. He was controlling the exchanges from the first round into the second, and he dropped Jiang one time with knees to the body, I believe, and then he finished the fight with a knee to the body that really sunk into the belly of Jiang, who is a talented fighter, but yesterday was a proof of how good Keopayak actually is. I do believe he can become a proper challenger in the lightweight division if he started finishing people, because the first few fights he was cruising to wins, but he didn't really show that extra finishing power, and yesterday he did. So I believe he's going to be in the contention after, not now, but after a few fights more. If he can continue knocking some people out, he's going to be a name up the top. So yeah, that was the card. 6 out of 7 on picks for me. I was a bit worried beforehand, and especially after the first fight, Chelvsky versus Solomon. I thought I did a poor job this weekend, but after that, I did good. Got the rest of the card correct, and yeah, I'll continue my good streak into next weekend. Uh, so I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing if you do, and I appreciate you. Khop khop ma khap. Jar kan.